Dispersion. What do you mean by dispersion?
Splitting of white light.
Splitting of white light. Full sentence.
into its constituent colors.
How many?
7.
So why don't you make it a full one sentence in a one? Everything try to accommodate in the single sentence. So try everything. What you know about the dispersion, try everything in a one single sentence.
It's the splitting of white light into its 7 constituent colors when passing through a prism.
That's right. Passing through a prism is not the only one reason. There are many other possibilities are there. One of the possibilities is prism. So splitting of a white light into its 7 constituent colors is called as dispersion. Spectrum. What is spectrum means? Visible spectrum actually.
It's the band of 7 colors obtained from dispersion.
Band of 7 different colors obtained when the white light is dispersed. So that is called as spectrum. It is visible spectrum because that can be visualized. We are able to see that. That is visible spectrum. So there is invisible spectrum as well. Electromagnetic spectrum is the invisible as well as visible part. The middle portion, that is only with your part, that is a visible spectrum. Remaining below violet, there are 3 spectrums, so 3 different waves are there. Those are X-rays, gamma rays. Gamma is the first. Gamma rays, X-rays, and ultraviolet radiations.
Shall we write the definition for spectrum also?
Yes, spectrum, you have to write the definition. Visible spectrum definition. In the spectrum, you have the band of visible and invisible. Invisible starts with gamma rays. Then next is X-rays. Further, UV rays, ultraviolet radiations. After that, visible spectrum, VIBGYOR, violet to red part. This is visible spectrum. This is only seen to us. Then here, infrared radiations. Infrared. Then after that, microwave. And further, radio waves. So these are the full spectrum of a light. This is a full spectrum of light. Ultraviolet, this part, frequency of this range is visible to us. So this band of white light is seen, considered as a visible spectrum. These are very much harmful for us, cannot be used. In some rare cases, means it's X-rays only we are using it under precaution. All others are not used. Infrared radiations, microwave and radio waves have a much more uses. Infrared radiations is used in it is actually generally used for many communication processes. And it's actually heat rays. It consists of large amount of heat energy. So it is generally used for photography in dark. So that is in dark, whenever the person has to pass through any pictures has to be taken. Generally military use this one. Infrared radiation band is used by militaries. Microwave, we have seen microwaves are used for telecommunication. Don't consider only microwave is used in microwave machines. No. Microwave, the telecommunication towers you can see. There is all circular part, are you able to see? At the top of that, the circles are present. The big, this one we call as circular portions, spherical portions are present at the top. Just like a receivers they are. Those are transmitters and receivers of microwave radiations. So telecommunication works on this microwave. Radio waves are used for as a radar, for satellite communication, even TV transmission. So we are using radio waves. So these 3 are useful. These 3 are not so useful. They are actually harmful. Continuous exposure to X-rays. X-rays are used only to take the picture of bones. break bones, bony part, pictures can be seen. This is there is any breakage or not. Generally, at the time of any break, fractures, so that time X-rays are used to count out because X-rays cannot pass through the solid or the bone. Therefore, X-rays can be used, but continuous exposure of X-rays can cause cancer as well. So these three rays are very, very harmful for our body, but these are that much useful. These consist of large amount of heat waves, heat rays. Large amount of heat is present in this part. Okay, causes of dispersion.
Ma'am, how do you then define spectrum? Actual
Are
spectrum.
only right now visible spectrum. Electromagnetic waves. This is a different parts, different frequencies of different waves present in the electromagnetic wave of a light.
What?
The band of different waves present in electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic wave.
Okay,
This
ma'am.
is a part of electromagnetic wave. This is a part of these are all electromagnetic, and light is electromagnetic wave, one only what we know, and that consists of these all rays along with it.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, we don't need to learn spectrum as in general, right?
No.
What?
The spectrum of this part you have to know. Visible spectrum definition, band of 7 colors. Causes of dispersion, how the dispersion is caused.
Ma'am, each color has its own unique wavelength or frequency. And when they travel in vacuum or air, they travel at the same speed. But when they travel in another medium, their speeds differ and their refractive index also differs. So when they come out of the medium, they emerge in different directions and because they undergo different deviations.
Yes, angle of deviation for every color is different. So different colors have different wavelength. Different wavelength causes difference in speed. Difference in speed causes difference in refractive indices. And difference in refractive indices causes difference in angle of deviation. Due to different angle of deviations, the all colors get separated from each other, which can be seen easily as 7 different colors. Every color has different wavelength. So that band is the range is from violet to red. Violet is least one and the red is maximum one. So due to that, the speed. So it is wavelength of violet is lesser than wavelength of red. So therefore, it is directly proportional. V is equal to n lambda. So V and lambda are directly proportional. So therefore, uh, speed of violet light is lesser than speed of red light. So that means red light moves with a faster speed. Now V and N are inversely proportional. N is equal to C by V. More speed, lesser refractive index. So refractive index of red is lesser than the refractive index of violet. So therefore, angle of deviation. Now, angle of refractive index and angle of deviations are directly proportional. So if the speed refractive index of violet is greater, so therefore angle of deviation of violet is greater than angle of deviation of red. So violet light bends more angle, so that means it bends more as compared to red. So red is least and violet is max. So maximum deviation is seen in violet and the minimum is seen in red. So therefore, when light pass out of the prism, white light incident, then here first dispersion takes place with very less change. Then here the bending will be this much. So this is a screen if we keep it. So this is red and this is violet, because angle of deviation of violet, if you see the angle of deviation, so here if we produce it forward and produce them backwards, from this point, this is angle of deviation of red and this is angle of deviation of violet. So whose is more, whose angle of deviation of violet, deviation of red. So red is less, so less deviation is there. So that means the angle bending will be lesser as compared to violet. So violet bends most, and all other colors' angle will be in between red and violet. So therefore, red will be seen at the top and violet is seen at the bottom. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We should draw this diagram.
Yes, you can. You have to draw this one and write this one part also in short.
Okay, ma'am.
Done?
Done, ma'am.
Rainbow formation. Water droplets. Sunlight enters in this water droplet. First, it gets refracted and dispersed both. So internal, this one you can see. This is red light, this is violet light. At this end, for the particular rays with particular angles, they refract, they reflect back. That is here at this stage, what has happened? Bending has taken place, so refraction, and at the same time it is the color also splits, so dispersion has been seen. After that, for the particular angles, some colors which reach the boundary at 40 particular angles, that is more than 42 degrees, they only reflect back. like this.
Total internal reflection.
So here internal, in the workbook it is used internal reflection. And then again refraction takes place. So it will bend away from the normal. So this is red and this is violet and seen by the observer. Here you can draw the observer. Whatever. The person, instead of this, draw the person. If you just only draw this much thing is not needed, that is. Then the further refraction. Diagram important, and these steps explaining is important. That's it. A 3-mark question. Draw the diagram and write those 4 steps. 4 phenomena responsible for rainbow formation. Done? What is atmospheric refraction?
Ma'am, it is the change in direction of the light rays which are traveling through the atmosphere because the density of the layers changes. This is called atmospheric refraction.
Okay. Anyone else?
May I try?
Yeah.
Ma'am, the change in the direction of light traveling through the atmosphere due to the change in densities or because the layers of air is called atmospheric refraction.
Different denser layers of air you have to mention. Okay. So here, whenever the light ray passes through vacuum, it travels in a straight line path. But as soon as it enters the Earth's atmosphere, it will keep on bending, changing in direction of the light ray takes place because the different layers of air atmosphere have different density. So due to different denser regions, the light ray keep on bending or keep on changing direction. So this phenomena is called as atmospheric refraction. You both are right. Only mention proper, that is the density of different air layers are different. And why that happens?
Gravity is different in different lengths, heights.
With heights. As we go upward, the gravity goes on decreasing. The particles are not closely packed when we move upward. So therefore, the total density, the density of that region is keep on changing, that is keep on decreasing. The maximum density we will see near the surface, and the upper surface, that is one reason is the gravity, and the second reason is heat energy also. Sun's heat is more at that place. So they will be scattered away from each other. They move away from each other because they have lesser volume, lesser compactness, force of compactness. The force, binding force between them is very less, as well as the temperature is also different. So due to which the density of different layers keep on decreasing. Upper layer has very less density, least density. So vacuum, just somewhat more density increases. When you move further, move downwards, the density somewhat more increment, then again more increment. So keep on increasing. And at the end, that is on the surface of the earth, the density is maximum. So due to different denser regions, the light ray keep on changing its direction. So this phenomena is said to be atmospheric refraction. Consequences seen due to atmospheric refractions.
The stars are I forgot the sentence. Ma'am, the stars seem higher than they actually are.
Yes. Anand, what's the answer? Anand, what's the answer? Everyone switch on videos. Switch on videos, everyone. Everyone switch on videos. Yes, Anand, what's the answer? Unmute your mic.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Ma'am, it's atmospheric refraction or refraction caused by the atmosphere, like different layers of the atmosphere, resulting in the blue sky.
I'm asking a position of stars.
A position of stars. It's slightly, it's not exactly correct position, slightly towards the, except the pole star. The pole star is directly perpendicular to the atmosphere. Except the pole star, all the stars have a bit of, what's the term?
You have not learned this chapter. Navneet?
Ma'am, it's due to the refraction of the light coming from the stars.
What is happening?
So, virus.
Vishnu?
Ma'am, the star seems to be higher than they actually are because the light refracts as it enters each as the height decrease. I'm not getting the word.
Light keep refracting.
Ma'am, as the light enters the atmosphere, it keeps bending, like refracts. So it seems a little it,
Higher.
I'm not.
Apparent position. Rose?
Ma'am,
The atmosphere of the Earth from outside to inside becomes from rarer to denser, ma'am. So when the light from the star moves towards the Earth, it keeps refracting and keeps bending away from the normal because it's rarer to denser. So it appears higher than the apparent position.
They won't bend away, they will bend towards because the density keep on increasing.
Yes, ma'am.
So bending is towards normal. So when finally the light ray reaches the observer, the image of the star is formed at a position which is higher than their actual position. So if you see this is the surface of Earth, star is here, different denser regions, it will keep on bending like this. Sorry. It will keep on bending like this. So when the last ray, this is the last layer, the rays which is moving in the last layer, so when it is produced backwards, actually here I'm showing one, there are two rays are reaching. And then those two rays, to make them meet, we have to produce them backwards. So they will meet at this position. So this is the actual position of the star and where the image is formed, which is higher than its actual position. So this is called apparent position of star. Even that will happen with the sun as well. So sun's position, what we see, that is also some centimeters above the actual sun's position. More stars, other stars at some more difference is there. Sun is also, there is a difference. Sun is also what we see, that is also some centimeters above its actual position. That is apparent position of stars. Clear? The second one, second consequence?
Ma'am, twinkling.
Twinkling of stars. Yes, explain.
Ma'am, when we look at the sky, no, ma'am, sometimes the star seems to be brighter and the star seems to be dimmer. When the light from the star, it is actually due to atmospheric refraction. When light from a star is entering the atmosphere, no, ma'am, it keeps bending towards the normal. But because the atmosphere is full of gases and the gases keep moving around, it keeps changing. So the path of the light keeps taking a different path every time. So which is why it takes a different, like there's a slight change in the position of the star.
Position and brightness, the number of rays reaching the observer.
Yes, ma'am.
So here most prominently is one is the position. Refraction causes the position difference. And then again the movement of particles of air. The gaseous particles of the air as keep on moving. So due to which the refraction takes place at different angles. And the number of rays reaching the observer is keep on changing. So due to that, when more number of rays reaches the person, then he will see the brighter light. When less number of rays reaches the person, then he will see dimmer light. So this change in the brightness of the starlight is called as twinkling effect. But planets do not twinkle. Trisha?
Ma'am, they do not twinkle because the
Tia? Why don't planets twinkle? No idea. Not learn the chapter. Niranjana?
Ma'am, because lot of light falls on the planet, and even if little amount of light falls, also the brighter light that falls, it nullifies that effect. So we are able to see because of the planet size.
Not proper. Somewhat okay, but not full. Nakshatra? Nakshatra, are you able to hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what's the answer? No. Amog? Amog, yes, answer.
Ma'am, most probably because ma'am, stars are balls of burning fire, ma'am. So, and
Burning.
planets are not.
No. Rishi? Why don't planets twinkle?
Not so much of an idea, but ma'am, I remember learning that planets can be considered as many point sources of light. So the ma'am, the continuous refraction, like the ma'am, not like all parts of the planet, they don't actually really have any light of their own. So, like the point sources, ma'am, the continuous refraction nullifies the point source of light, so they don't actually like appear to be twinkling. Ma'am, I don't know the exact answer.
Somehow right. Sneha? Sneha, answer? Are you able to hear?
Ma'am, planets are big to us because they appear big to us because they are near to the Earth, and they are. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Planets appear big to us because they are near to the Earth. They are a collection of sources, light sources. So the dimming effect produced by some of them is nullified by the brighter ones. So we don't see the twinkling of the planets.
That's right. Here, first point, planets are very close to the Earth as compared to stars. First point, they are reflecting. It will work as a many point sources. So different parts of the planets are reflecting the light falling on them. So that means here, due to closeness, its size is big and the number of points which are reflecting the lights are more in number. So it behaves as a multiple point sources. So some points, since refracted rays will reach us, some points refracted rays won't reach us. But the dimness produced due to some points is nullified by the brightness produced by other points, not parts. So due to which the twinkling effect, the dimness and brightness, so brightness will not keep on changing because some points will, from some points the rays will, less number of rays will reach, and from other points the more number of rays are reaching us. So but as a whole, when we consider, there is no much difference in the brightness. So due to no much difference in brightness, no twinkling. So first point is the planets are closer, so appear too big to us, appear bigger to us on the any observer on the Earth. Second point, due to bigger sized, it is many point source object. We can consider it as multiple point source object. So from different points, the number of rays reaching us is different. Third point. Fourth point, the dimness produced by some points is nullified by brightness of other points. As a whole, then fifth point, as a whole, the brightness of the planet does not change, due to which no twinkling effect is seen. Clear what exact 6 points you have to write? 5 points, sorry. Is it clear? So first is its position, its size. Second is multiple sources of light. Third is the refractions, nullification of nullifying the effect of different brightness. And therefore, no different brightness, no twinkling. Is that clear? But in case of stars, it is a single source. In case of stars, it is a single source of a light. So from that one single point, if the light reaches us, we are able to see. And if light won't reach us, we are not able to see that point. So therefore, that switching on and off of the light is continuously happening. Even the brightness is also changing, because from the same source of a light, number of rays are reaching us. That is differing. So due to which the brightness also keep on changing. And that gives us the twinkling effect. So that is what I told you. I've given you one example of a single, one single bulb and many series bulbs are present at a more distance, suppose at a farther distance on a hilltop. One single bulb is glowing and it is continuously switching on and off is going on. It will affect you. Single bulb is glowing at suppose hilltop, somewhere closer to you. So at that time, if there is any switching on and off, suppose you can take a different, this one, on the terrace top of some of the nearer building. On the terrace top, you can consider there is a helipad, so that you can see the high-rise buildings. There are some one single light is glowing. So if that is continuously switching on and off, you will feel effect that one. It will cause this irritation to you. But if the series bulb is there, and in that series bulb, at the same distance, same position, if there are series bulbs, and out of that one bulb is flickering, will that affect you?
No, ma'am.
100 bulbs are there, series bulbs of 100, and out of that only one is flickering. So is that flickering affects you?
No, ma'am.
No. So that is the same thing. So one single bulb is an example of one star. And series bulb is an example of planets. Clear? Now you will remember. Now next is one more consequence left out, that is day duration. Duration of the day. At the time of sunrise and sunset, the duration of the day is increased by 2 minutes. Give reason. 3-mark question. This is also. Anyone?
Ma'am, the first thing is sunrise. So when the sun is just below the horizon, due to atmospheric refraction, the light reaching us makes it look like the sun is actually above the horizon. So we can see the rising sun 2 minutes before it's actually risen above the horizon.
Sure. So when the sun is below horizon, but still due to refraction, the light ray keep on bending and reaches the person standing on the surface of the earth. So, and he will see the image on of the sun just above horizon. And this difference, so that means just before rising sun, when he see the sun, at that time the sun may not be above the horizon, it is below horizon. He is seeing the image because we have seen apparent position of stars. Stars seems to be higher due to atmospheric refraction. The same thing happened in case of sunrise also. At the time of sunrise, sun is below horizon, but its image is formed some distance away above, and that above is above horizon. So therefore, the person is able to see the sun, and that happens due to atmospheric refraction, and he is able to see 2 minutes before. 2 minutes before actual sunrise, the person is able to see the sun. Same time happen at the time of sunset. The sun has already set, means it has gone just below horizon, but still due to atmospheric refraction, the rays from the sun are keep reaching the observer, and therefore observer can see the image of the sun above the horizon. So any observer on the surface of the earth is able to see the sun when it is actually set also for 2 more minutes. So this way, the 2 minutes at the time of sunrise and 2 minutes at the time of sunset, totally 4 minutes in the day duration of the day is increased due to atmospheric refraction. If atmosphere is not there, then if there is no atmosphere, then what would have happened? Does this change has been seen?
No, ma'am, this change wouldn't have been there.
So the duration of the day will be remain same. No change in the 4-minute duration change will not be there, and that will happen for the astronauts. So when the space, any person in the spacecraft. So those people are outside the Earth's atmosphere. So for them, the duration of the day and night are exactly same. There is no change of 4 minutes. Okay. Is that right? And this explanation with diagram you have to show. Even the apparent position of the stars and the duration of the day, sunrise, advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. You have to explain this by diagram. They have asked or not asked, doesn't matter. You always have to draw these diagrams because it is always marks are reserved for diagram. Although it is not asked in the question, but still 1 mark is reserved for the diagram. So that you have to learn. So whichever the question requires diagram, you have to draw it. Otherwise, sometimes you will lose because they are testing you. That's how exactly you are explaining. That's the reason I keep on telling you, you write an answers such a way that you are explaining to a person who don't know anything. Just check thinking. That is, you are teaching some new concept to your sibling, that is your brothers or sister, you are explaining, or maybe another student who don't know this chapter, and you are explaining that part, how you will explain. So think how he will get understood. So in that words you are writing, you are telling him or her. So that time the same way you have to think while writing answers. Is that clear? So you think now, and then you will start realizing that is how exactly you have to write the answers. It is not how much you understood. It is how much other will understand that question answer. According to that, you keep on writing the answers. It's clear. So if you think and then start writing, then there will be a much more difference in your answers. You will realize itself. First think, okay, if I will write this, is it possible to that a person will understand? My brother will understand, my sister will understand, or maybe a friend you are explaining. Will he understand that part? Will she understand that question? That if I write in this sentence, is it possible to understand by that person? So think and then start writing. Immediately your way of writing answers will completely change. So that is a very good method of understood, analyze how answers should be written. And even the reading part also. You will again change your reading portion part also. Clear? Now next, this is about the atmospheric refraction. Then last part is scattering. So what is scattering of a light? Deep, what do you mean by scattering? Unmute your mic.
Dispersing of light.
Then why we have given the name scattering there? Students always get confused. In place of scattering, the students keep on writing refraction, refracting, dispersing. Don't use those words. You'll lose complete marks there. Sneha?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes.
A change in the direction of the light rays when it hits different particles in the atmosphere, like smoke and all. The phenomenon of the change in the direction of the light rays known as scattering of light.
Okay, spreading of the light ray. Word you can use is spreading. So light ray they changed when it this one refraction also. At the time of refraction also direction it will change. At the time of reflection also direction will change. Then how it is scattering different from the refraction and reflection. So that is the light rays get spread in any possible directions. Or change in direction randomly, you can use the word. Then that is better. Because change in direction only word if you use, then it may be similar to that of refraction. So it is not refraction. This is not refraction. All the colors get separated, get spread from each other, get move in different random direction. There is no law they will follow. So in any direction with any angle, the light rays bend. Then, so this phenomena is called as scattering of a light or spreading of a light when light travels from one medium to another. Sorry, when it strikes any particles, small particles of the atmosphere. Then change in, or you can write as spreading of the light ray when light ray strikes any particles like dust or atoms or molecules of the atmosphere is called as scattering of light. Clear? Or change in direction randomly by different colors of the light changes their direction randomly when they strike different sized particles of the atmosphere. Then this phenomena is called as scattering of a light. So scattering of a light characteristics, I told you 3 parts, 3 points I told you to remember. By that we can see the consequences. First thing,
Ma'am, very fine particles scatter violet light. No, blue light.
Blue spectrum, blue, indigo, violet will be scattered most. Very fine particles present in the atmosphere are responsible for scattering shorter wavelengths, that is violet or blue shades, can be scattered by fine particles. Then bigger size particles,
Longer wavelength.
so bigger size particles are responsible for scattering longer wavelength. And the third one,
Even larger than that will scatter all colors equally. That is, it will give us white light.
yes. So more than that light, a larger size particle, just like a dust particle, if you take an example, then when the light strikes on that, all the colors will scatter, but equally they get scattered and forming white light. They form white light. Is that clear? So very fine particles scatter shorter wavelength. Longer wavelengths particles have longer wavelength colors gets scattered by larger size particles, and even more larger size particles are responsible for equal scattering of all colors forming white light. Okay. Fine. Then the consequences or different examples due to scattering of a light we see. Anand, if you are tired, you can leave. No problem. You are much more
I'm here,
tired,
ma'am.
I think so.
I'm here, ma'am.
I can see you much more tired and uncomfortable.
What?
I can see you more uncomfortable. in front of the screen? They're tired, I think so. If you want, you can leave. There's no issue.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, different examples we have seen due to scattering of a light. What are the things we can see?
Ma'am, danger signs are in red color because red color doesn't get scattered that much.
Yes, so always you have to mention in all these examples, very important. These questions are danger signals is asked for 2 marks, and all other remaining ones, the sky, color of the sky blue, and the remaining part of the sun, morning and evening time, it is reddish near the sun. So that reasons you always has to mention there is a shorter wavelength scatters most due to fine particles of the atmosphere, and the longer wavelength scatters least. So blue color scatters most and red color scatters least. So this part, it should be there in all your answers. The fine particles present, the particles present on the Earth's atmosphere are responsible for scattering blue color most. The scattering the shorter wavelength light, that is blue color, and the red color scatters least. So this part, this sentence should be there in all answers. And then you write it. The danger signals are printed red because red, having the longer wavelength, will scatter least because the particles responsible for scattering red are less in number. Is it clear? The red color scatters least because the particles required to scatter red color are less in number. So due to which under any conditions, that is fog, smoke regions, the red color reaches the observer. And due to that, those signals can be seen easily. Therefore, danger signals are always painted in red color. Next, second, sky appears blue. Reason? Yes, Deep?
No, nothing.
Okay. Niranjana?
Because blue color scatters the most, so the sky appears blue in color.
One sentence, or do you write for 3 marks? This is a 3-marker question. All these are 3 markers except the danger signals, that is for 2 marks. All other reasons are asked for 3 marks. So minimum 3 points should be there. Yes, anyone? Vishnu?
Ma'am, I don't know.
You have not learned, no? So you know that it is human eyes going on. You have to at least once read and enter the class. I always told you. Otherwise, it will not be fruitful. The revisions will not be fruitful in that case. Yes. Pia, can you try?
Ma'am, the blue light, it has a shorter wavelength than the red, and like the particles scatter it more so that the blue light reaches our eye.
Yes, most of the blue rays only reaches us. Yes, right. Okay, so here sky reflects the sunlight. The rays when reaches Earth's atmosphere. The particles present in the Earth's atmosphere are responsible for scattering shorter wavelength light, that is blue light. So most of the blue light gets scattered and reaches us. So the most amount of light reaching the observer is blue color. So therefore the sky appears blue. Clear? Most of the scattered blue light reaches observer. This last sentence should be there in your answer. Don't only keep your answer till blue scatters most and red scatters least. The last point is very important. Why exactly blue? Blue will scatter most, but what is happening? Why we are able to see that blue color? Because that light is only reaching us. So most of the scattered light is only reaching us. Direct light of sky is not reaching us. So direct light is reaching, then we are able to see red color. But here what is happening in case of normal sky, the color which reaches is the scattered one, because the reflected one is going somewhere else. It is not reaching us. Reflected light from the sky, maybe it is not reaching this side also. It is not going to our side. It may be other country it is reaching. It's not directly to us. So it is a scattered light is reaching to all the observers on the sun, on the Earth's surface. So and that scattered light, which color is the prominent one? Most scattered particles. Most scattered color is blue color. So blue color is reaches the observer's eye. So therefore the observer is able to see everything blue. So because here remember example of both sky appears blue and sky appears reddish also. So in case of sky appears blue, the scattered light is falling on the observer's eye and the scattered light is a blue color. So therefore we are able to see blue color most. In case of sunrise and sunset, what is happening? This is not reflected light is not reaching us. The direct light from the sun reaching us. So direct light from the sun or the directly from the sky near to that sun is reaching us. So at that time the direct light is reaching, not the scattered one. So in the direct light when it is reaches us, at that time all other colors get scattered away. Before reaching our eyes, all other colors get scattered away due to scattering process. And what is the color left out in that light? Which color left out in that light?
Red.
Red. So therefore the red color only reaches us. So therefore we are able to see red color at the time of sunrise and sunset both. Because in case of sunrise and sunset, the direct light has to be seen by us to see the sun or sun, wherever the area the sun is present on east or west direction. When we are able to see the sky, at that time the direct lights are falling on us, not the scattered one. So direct light reaching us. So before reaching us, the all other colors are scattered away. So the color left out, which is non-scattered light, that is a red, which only reaches us. So therefore, we are able to see red color. It's clear? So these examples you have to remember, and these will be asked. All these apparent position of the star, then the twinkling of the stars and planets, not twinkling of planets, advanced sunrise, delayed sunset, then the sky appears blue, sky appears reddish at the time of sunrise and sunset, and the danger signals are red. So these are 6 reasons you have to remember from this last part of this chapter. Out of these, 1 or 2 will be there in your exam. If this chapter is there in your exam, then. And this only danger signal question is for 2 marks, and all other questions are always asked for 3 marks questions. Okay. Sometimes they have asked the same question for 5 marks, 3 and 2 marks. One question is 3 marks, second question is for 2 marks. Or sometimes 2, 2, 1 they have asked. But they have asked this question. Okay. Chapter clear? Fine. So tomorrow is life process. This done. Physics done. Then life process left out. So life process tomorrow. Okay. Read and come. Fine. Then you can leave now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
linear equation test paper can you send, ma'am?
Test paper. Question paper.
Yes, ma'am, question paper.
I'm not sent. Okay, I will send you.
Ma'am, in that I have a doubt. Like one question was there, ma'am. I think you had given it as 61 by 6.
No, I have changed it to 60. I
You
changed
had?
it to not 61 by 20. 61 by 6 is right.
No, ma'am, it's 61 by 60.
Oh,
In R.D. Sharma, I saw it as 61 by 60, ma'am.
60. Yeah, might be. Then you will get the full marks for that. Actually, something, but why I've changed that? I've not changed that one. Don't know. Okay.
Ma'am, because when I was solving, I wrote 61/6, so I thought I wrote the question wrong.
Okay, fine. I will check and give the marks for that.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.